Well, hello everyone. Thanks for joining this session. I'm going to be talking about mastering the growth mindset as it relates to trading. My name is Valerie Fox, and I'm the founder of a company called Consistent FX Profits. So, today I'm going to be talking about mindset, which is not specific. I'm a Forex trader. It's not specific to Forex what I'm talking about today. So if you're in another market, don't worry, it's still going to be very relevant to you. And also, if there's time, I will be doing some Q&A at the end. And I also love to get engagement. I see we have almost 100 people on the call here right now. So I'll be using the chat feature. So get your mouse ready. I'm going to try to do a little engagement because I know doing several presentations in a row, it can kind of be hard to just sit there and watch. So while I'm doing a little intro here, if you would just type where you're from. I'm in Springfield, Missouri area in the US, but I'd love to hear what kind of representation we have on the call. So welcome, thanks for joining me. Hold your questions until the end. And then also just a quick disclaimer before we get started. The information I'm providing is solely for educational purposes. It's not going to be constituting any kind of investment advice. Obviously, trading involves large risk. You need to be aware of what you're doing. Make sure you're not trading with money that you can't afford to lose. And then obviously everyone's results vary. I'm going to be sharing, details about my results and my clients. So just know they are real testimonials, but everyone kind of gets different results when they trade. So wow, it looks like we've got some good representation. We've got people from London, California, UK, lots of people from California. Ooh, South Africa on the line. Love it. Yes, and this video, I know Dave and Anka will be making this available afterwards. So if you're not able to watch the whole thing, you've got to go back to your day. Don't worry, I know they'll be sending out the recordings as well. Oh, and then we've got India and then California represented again. So hey everyone, all over the world literally today. I love it. Okay, so let's keep diving here. So today I'm going to provide you with some information, some insights, some actions. And the best way for you to take advantage of all this is, this is kind of goes without saying, but limit your distractions, close down other browsers, close down your Facebook, put your phone on silent. And then if you want, grab a pen and paper. There may be a couple of notes you want to jot down too, which is totally fine. So who's this training for? New traders who are looking to make money trading. Again, this is, financial instrument, non-dependent. So you don't have to be a Forex trader to keep listening. Or maybe you're an experienced trader and you're looking to sharpen your mindset. If you've been around the trading industry for a while, you know how very important mindset is, and you might be here doing some continuing education and making sure you're sharpening your skills. Or just traders who want more time and less stress. So depending upon what kind of trading you do, sometimes trading can be stressful or just take a lot of time, and you might be wanting to try to mitigate some of that. So if you check any of these boxes, you're in the right place. And also, if you stick with me until the end, I am going to be giving you access to my 30 days of trading tips and tidbits. So that's my little reward for you for sticking around. And as we jump in, I just kind of want to talk about trading in general. So there's pros and cons to trading, right? Just like anything in life. And there is, people sometimes don't do well with trading, right? And, I want you to know that there's a lot of factors at play with trading. And sometimes it's not your fault, right? Trading can be difficult. There's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of people trying to help you. It can be difficult to kind of dig through and find a strategy that works for you, or even to learn a strategy and start trading. And even more difficult to continue trading, maybe if you're losing money or if your mindset's kind of in the gutter. So that's why a lot of people give up. And honestly, I feel like, you hear all these stats about only 5% of traders make it. I'd really love to see the stats for people that attempt trading with a proven strategy and with mindset coaching. Because I think that success percentage would be in the like 90% plus. I think that stat that you always hear that only 5% of traders actually make it is really including a mass majority of people that give up before they even really give themselves a fair shot at trading. But, just so you know, it's all possible, right? There's a lot that's possible trading. There are a lot of people out there trading, making money. And, like I said, a proven trading approach helps. And having someone help you, coach you, mentor you also helps. And then, having your mindset really sharp and in the right place. So there's a lot that is possible. It takes both trading strategy and trading mindset, but you can find an edge in the market, which is exactly what trading's all about, giving yourself that high probability trade setup. You can execute flawlessly. So if you have a trade plan, you have a set of rules that you're following with trading for how you qualify your edge, where you enter, where you exit, how you manage your trade, how you mitigate your risk, then it just becomes a matter of flawlessly executing, which is totally doable for anyone. And then with that, you can consistently profit over time, right? So if you're executing consistently, then you're going to get consistent results. And that's another big flaw, which, is not for today, but really trading is all about consistency in your execution to get those consistent results. And if you've heard me speak before, you know that that's one of my little phrases. But, you can do all this without breaking the bank, without years of experience, without spending all day in front of your computer, and without losing your mind. So we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But, before I dive into the mindset component of today's training, which is what the core premise is, I want to just share with you a little bit about my journey. So you know who I am, where I came from, why I even know what I'm talking about here. So, so I graduated college, I don't know, gosh, it's been almost 20 years. Graduated college, I went into corporate America, started climbing my way up the corporate ladder, really loved it. Life was good. I was being recognized. I was a hard worker. All was great. But then I kind of started to feel trapped. I actually had recently met my husband about this time. And I realized all those, evening hours, weekend hours I was working, really, now that I had met someone, my now husband, I was like, hey, this isn't as cool as I once thought it was. I felt trapped. I wanted freedom. I didn't want to be like chained to a job that, maybe wasn't as fulfilling as it once was. And I also wanted my time back, right? More than anything, I wanted my time back so that I could spend more time with my husband and my friends. And, eventually I've started a family. So time with my daughter, and time became a really important commodity for me, about 10 years into my career. And that's when I started doing a lot of research, and I was like, all right, I need something else. Like, I feel like a little hamster on a hamster wheel here, doing the same thing every single day, wake up, go to my job, give all my best energy to my, corporate career, come home late, get dinner, be exhausted, and then I have like nothing left to give to my husband. So I started looking for other solutions, other ways to make money, other ways to build a dream. And that's when I discovered trading. And that literally has like unlocked the door for me for time and financial freedom. So that's kind of big picture, the journey that brought me to trading. And a little bit about me personally and as a trader. I'm a price action trader in the Forex market, been trading for over 9 years. So I've been here more than just a short period of time at this point. With the strategy that I deploy and that I teach to other traders, I win over 70% of my trades. So I take a lot of pride in having those consistent results for myself and for my clients. And like I said, time's really important. So I'm spending less than an hour a day at my charts, which, is not where I started, but it's where I am now that I have a really great strategy. I'm a super conservative trader, so I've lost a lot of money early on in my trading days, and that helped me really build a strong risk mitigation strategy where I only risk 1% of my account on a given trade. And even with that small risk, I am able to make, over 6 times the average annual return of the S&P 500. So, big picture speaking, I've learned the hard, long, and expensive way, so you don't have to. And I really get a lot of gratification in helping traders. I was able to leave my corporate job, as I like to say, back in 2018. And since then, I've coached hundreds of traders to get consistent results too. So that's a little bit about me. It wasn't all rainbows and butterflies and sunshine. I had a lot of ups and downs. how many of you have had some emotional ups and downs with trading? Give me a Y or a 1 if you've had some emotional ups and downs with trading. I want to see you in the chat box because I know I'm not alone here. Got lots of yeses going. Yep. And this isn't uncommon. You know, it's really funny when I talk about, yep, roller coaster, but learning and loving. Love that, MT. So yeah, lots of people come into trading, you know, they have a big vision, they've got big beliefs, and then they start hitting some road bumps along the way, and then their limiting beliefs and their emotions start kind of spiraling out of control. And that's really common, really, really common. We're going to talk more about that today. But, you know, I just want you to know that even though, you know, here I am teaching you guys about growth mindset, like I want you to know that I wasn't just like born with this growth mindset. It's a skill that I've had to grow and develop over time, right? So, you know, when I first started trading, I was super geeked out, totally excited, like, yes, people make money trading. I just need a computer. I can live anywhere in the world. Like, awesome. Like I was going fast. I was like taking in all the information I could take. You guys know there's tons of free information out there. How many of you are overwhelmed with all the free info out there on the internet about trading? Anyone overwhelmed? That's one of the things I hear from a lot of my clients. There's so much info out there. They're like, I don't even know where to start, right? And I'm totally one of those people that I'm just like absorb, absorb, absorb. Like I want to know it all. And the thing about trading is there is a lot of information out there, and you can totally become like a generalized expert about everything about the markets and every indicator and yada, 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 all these like different trading strategies, trading approaches, everything. And it's great to give you the confidence to feel like you know what you're doing, but you don't even need half of it, to be honest. So many people want to like become this like generalized expert, but really what you need to do in terms of a strategy is really be like a specialized expert. You don't need to know everything under the sun. You just need to know a specific strategy. So I went the route of, you know, totally over absorbing. It brought me the confidence to start trading with real money. And, you know, I started trading with real money and, you know, totally overconfident, thought I knew a lot more than I did. And what do you know? Down went my account. I was trading, you know, with too much on each trade. I didn't really have a proven strategy. I wasn't taking the time to like really even become a master of a single strategy. I was like totally attracted to like 5 million strategies, trying to do them all at once because I was like, I went to college. I've, you know, grown in my career in corporate America. Like I can take on multiple strategies at once. Who right now is trading more than one strategy? Give me a Y in the chat box. I just want to know if this resonates with you guys. So yep, got lots of people trading more than one strategy. A couple no's, good for you. Someone's doing 3. So tell me, for all of you that said yes, you're trading multiple strategies, are you succeeding at all of them? Give me a Y or a no. So we got 1 Y. When you have experience, it's easier to take on. But when you're new, a lot of people are, you know, taking on too much and not really becoming a master of one. And that was one of my pitfalls early on. So, you know, here I was trying to do it all at once, not getting good results, brought about this emotional, you know, roller coaster downwards, so to speak. I lost a lot of money and kind of hit rock bottom. Like I was totally heartbroken. I gave up Forex for a short period of time because I was just like, I'm losing money. I'm missing something. I need to step away and like clear my head on it. And then eventually I came back to it and I built the right strength and rigor from a mindset standpoint, from a focus standpoint that was needed for me to really make the difference long term. So the reason I share my personal journey with you is just so you know that like, it's not uncommon to go on an emotional roller coaster. And it's also possible to get out of that roller coaster. So if that's where you are today, know that being intentional and using some of the things I'm going to share with you today is going to help you build that muscle and that strength to come out on the other side as a profitable trader. So for me, was it all worth it? Yeah, totally, right? Now I get to travel the world with my family. Only needing the internet and my laptop. And this is me just on a few trips last year. I'm totally missing travel this year. But here I am in Prague. with my husband and daughter. Here I am in Hallstatt, Austria, which is like a really beautiful place. If you've, we have a couple people in Europe, so if you guys have not been to Hallstatt, Austria, it's like you drive through the mountains to get there. It's this beautiful, picturesque little town, little cottages. It's like gorgeous. So you can see in these first two pictures, I have a little backpack purse on, like my laptop's just there, and I'm totally just like popping into cafes when I need to, and that's about it. Here I am in Lisbon on like the main thoroughfare. I'm in a cafe, eating my pastel de natas, drinking my coffee, watching all the passerbyers down below on the main walkway. What you can't see next to me, and I probably should have included this, is my 3-year-old daughter next to me, you know, spilling orange juice everywhere and all that. But hey, that's part of my memory, and I get to share that with you guys now. And then here I am in Madeira, Portugal, an island off the coast of Portugal. Have an Airbnb right on the beach. You can see the waves in the picture behind me, and like just everything that trading has afforded me to travel on the go with my family has made it all so worth it. And I hope it inspires you as well, not to give up. If you have big dreams, big visions with trading, whether you're at the beginning, middle, or end of that like experience, like I totally want to inspire you not to give up if you're having those doubts creep in. One of the other questions I get from a lot of people is why I chose Forex. So I'm just going to briefly touch on that. I'm not necessarily trying to tell you you should trade Forex, but I do have a lot of people, especially stock traders, options, future traders, are like, okay, so you've been trading. Why did you pick Forex? And it's a very natural question. So I just want to cover it up front here with you in case you have not explored Forex, don't know anything about Forex. Here's just a little bit of insights. These are my opinions, but you know, the top 5 reasons Forex beats the other markets. And obviously you can make money in all markets. So I'm totally not dissing any of the other financial marketplaces. But the first reason Forex beats other markets is market size. So Forex is actually the biggest financial marketplace in the world. Over like $5 trillion a day pass through the Forex market. Just to compare that to the stock market, the stock market only has about 200 billion, which is still a lot of money. But when you think about like the dollars flowing through, you know, 200 billion versus 5 trillion, it's a pretty meaningful difference. And what that does from a market size standpoint is it gives you really, really great liquidity to buy and sell trades when you want to. So like in the Forex market, you don't have to wait for your buy or your sell order. It's like basically instantaneous when you want to buy and sell, and you don't have any problems like getting your full order filled or anything like that. Number 2, 24-hour trading. So the Forex market is open 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. Really awesome. I know when I was trading early on, I was still working full-time in corporate America, right? So, you know, I considered the stock market, but since the stock market was only open when I was working at my job, it didn't really work very well. So that kind of naturally pushed me into Forex because I could trade before work, I could trade after work, I could trade before I go to bed, etc. There were a lot more options for me, giving some flexibility to trade and fit it into my other life commitments throughout the day. I talk a lot about being like a lifestyle trader and like trading something, like you have all these options. Choose something that's going to fit well with your lifestyle, both now and when you achieve your goals, right? So for me, my goal was to leave my job. And so, you know, I spent a lot of time early on, like trying to do these, you know, I'm in the US. So I tried to find all these like London Open strategies because they were supposedly the best and it was the best time to trade and all this stuff. But it's getting up at like 2 a.m. when I was trying to work full time still, and it was just not sustainable. So do yourself a favor and choose a trading strategy that fits well now and when you hit your goals. Just a little lesson I've learned over the years. Simplicity. So, you know, in the Forex market, there's only a couple hundred currency pairs to even choose from. Compare that to the, you know, 7,000+ companies that you have to choose from in the stock market. So for those of you that are trading in other markets besides Forex, just tell me in the chat box, like what percentage of the time are you using to just like narrow down and decide what you're actually going to just even hone in on. So like what I hear from a lot of stock traders is they're spending like half their trading time or even 3/4 of their trading time just trying to even like narrow down what can I trade because there's so many different things to sift through and just narrow down what is a good, you know, instrument to trade right now. So the good thing about Forex is there's only a couple hundred currency pairs. And even with that, if you just focus on the majors and the minors, which have, you know, the lower spreads, better liquidity, all that stuff, I trade 28 currency pairs and that's it. So when I come to my charts every day, there is no, you know, oh yeah, the E-mini futures market. That makes it simple. So, you know, when I come to my charts, I know exactly what I'm going to trade. It doesn't waver. There's either a qualified setup or there's not. And then, you know, if there is, I put a pending order. And if there's not, I go about my day, right? I'm not having to spend like hours or days sifting through all these different stats about different stocks and, you know, trying to narrow down my focus. So Forex allows you to really have that focus and simplicity inherently because there's not as many currency pairs as there are stocks or companies. Okay, leverage. So the good thing, and it can also be a bad thing, so I'm not going to try to just like sugarcoat this and like tell you it's all rainbows and butterflies, but leverage is a really powerful component in the Forex market. In the US, you can get up to 50-to-1 leverage on your trading account. If you're outside of the US, depending upon where you're located, you know, you might be able to get even more than that. 50-to-1 is plenty sufficient. So what that means is with your deposit, you can trade larger position sizes versus what you would be able to trade with your deposit in a non-leveraged market. So ultimately, that translates to being able to grow your money more quickly. Again, the caveat to that is you really need to have some very strong and concrete risk mitigation strategies when you're trading Forex, which, you know, should be inherently part of your trade plan. But, you know, if you can make money more quickly, you can also lose money more quickly. So you just have to, you know, for those of you that are trading anything, I always recommend a stop loss. Take it for what it is. If you're not using a stop loss today, use one. You should always know. You should always know when you get in a trade where you want to get out if the trade goes against you. And that should be decided before you even enter a trade. You should know where your stop loss is. You should never move your stop loss. Just like accept the risk with the trade. And if it starts to go against you, accept the loss. You know, you're never going to win 100% of your trades. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. It's something I'm really passionate about. I know there's a lot of newer traders in the group. So just make sure you're always mitigating your risk. That's super huge, whether you're in a leverage market or not. And then the other great thing about Forex is there's a really low barrier of entry, especially for day traders. So in the Forex market, there's no like day trading minimum account size. I know like in the stock market, I think you have, if you're going to be doing day trades or like taking so many trades in a short amount of time, the stock market requires you to have like $20,000 or $25,000 in your account. In Forex, there's no account minimum. You can have an account as small as like $100. You can put like as low as 50 cents on a trade if you want. So the cool thing about that is you can start small when you're trading in the Forex market, obviously refine your skills, your execution, and then scale up from there once you're getting results. So that's one thing that I really love about Forex is it's really allows people to get in with a low barrier of entry. So those are the top 5 reasons why I trade Forex. There's several others, but I would say these are the big 5 in case you were curious. So let's get into the meat of the presentation. Here's what we're going to cover today on mindset. We're going to talk about the trading success equation. We're going to talk about the growth mindset versus the fixed mindset. And then lastly, we're going to wrap up by building your mental resilience. So for me, I have this trading success equation, and it's that you need strategy, like you need your trading strategy, your trade plan, you know, what you're trading, when you're not trading, how much you're risking, where you're entering, where you're exiting, how you're managing your trades, how you're mitigating your risk. All of that I define as being part of your trading strategy. You also need a strong mindset. And the combination of the two of those will give you success in trading. You really, in my opinion, you can't have success long-term in trading if you don't have both of those. And I'm going to say each are 50%. I could certainly argue that mindset is maybe a little bit more important, but in all reality, you have to have both, right? So I'm just going to call them 50-50 necessary ingredients for long-term success. Let me ask you guys this. To date, you know, with your trading endeavors, have you spent more time focus on learning strategies or learning trading mindsets? There's no right or wrong answer. I'm just curious where you guys are at. So use the chat box. Have you spent more time developing your trading strategy and your education around it, or have you been focused more on your mindset? So I see a couple strategies, I see a mindset, I see a 50-50, a couple 50-50 people. That's great. Both strategy. What I find with a lot of newer traders, at least based on my experience, here's a couple more strategies. Great, thank you guys for responding. 75% strategy, 25% mindset. Yep. So the reality is what I find with a lot of newer traders, and I know some of you guys are experienced, have been around different amounts of time in the trading world, but a lot of people tend to focus like much more on strategy than on mindset. And they think that's all they need. And then what happens is they start trading and their limiting beliefs, fears, doubts, etc., you know, poor behaviors really start coming to the surface very quickly. And then they don't experience success trading, and then they blame it on their strategy, when really they need to have some personal accountability to their mindset. So we're going to talk more about that today. So strategy is 50%. You know, you need to get that operational excellence. I'm not going to go into details on that, but really just at a very high level, what I mean by this is you need to either learn from someone else or develop your own trading strategy. Again, you know, what I define as a trading strategy is how you qualify your entry, where you enter, where you exit, how you manage your trade, how you mitigate your risk, what you're trading, what you're not trading, when you're trading, when you're not trading. All of that should be known in advance of ever placing a trade, in my opinion. So you can either learn it from someone else using someone else's trading strategy, or you can develop it on your own. Obviously, developing a trading strategy on your own takes a lot more effort, more back testing. It's totally not impossible. People do it all the time. It just takes more time, right? The second thing you have to do around operational excellence is you have to implement your trading strategy. And not only implement it, but hold yourself accountable to it, monitor your results. And then from there, you can make sure you're holding yourself accountable to what I call flawless execution. I'm a big advocate of having a very objective trade plan, making it very black and white, making sure that you can consistently execute your trading strategy. And then from there, it becomes very easy to determine where you need to improve, right? If you're holding yourself accountable to your trade plan, then at the end of every day, at the end of every week, end of every month, you can look back on your performance and say, how did I do, right? Was I following my rules, or did I, you know, derail on certain things? Maybe, you know, I let my emotions get the best of me and I moved my stop loss instead of leaving it originally where it was. Or maybe I moved my take profit, or maybe I lost a trade, got upset, and so the next trade, instead of risking 1%, I risked 2% because I just knew I would win it back, right? Like there's all these things in terms of operational excellence where you can get derailed, where you can make decisions that are outside of your trade plan. And the key here is to hold yourself accountable, make sure you're improving your performance. And then occasionally, you know, if you developed your trade plan too, you know, there's opportunities to like make improvements to your core strategy, which you should always, you know, kind of be keeping an eye out for things like that. So this is all around strategy, which again is a really important part of trading, but it's not our focus today. Our focus today is on mindset. And this is really your internal operating system. So if you think about like your thoughts, your reactions, your behavior, right? So when you're trading each day, are you, you know, thinking positive thoughts? Are you believing it's possible to make money? When you lose a trade, what's your reaction? Are you getting mad and angry, or are you celebrating because you followed your trading rules, right? When we talk about behavior, like, are you making trading a priority? Are you treating trading like a business? You know, if you say, hey, I'm gonna be a day trader, then that means that you need to be at your charts every day, right? And when have you committed? Like it's just like you have a doctor's appointment, or you have a job that you have to be at a certain time. Like if you're trading, you need to like build out your schedule, right? So like, what time am I going to trade? Is it, you know, if you're going to trade before you go into work, does that mean you need to set your alarm 30 minutes earlier? Those are all behaviors that are going to support your actions towards deploying your trading strategy. But if you're not doing that, if you're just kind of treating trading like a hobby and not really like a business, then you're not going to get that success that you're looking for. So all of these things are really important. So did you realize that, success with trading really starts in the mind? So what I mean by that is like what you think about, you bring about. Your thoughts become things. If any of you guys have ever studied like the law of attraction or manifestation or visualizations, like your thoughts make a big difference in your reality today, in your reality tomorrow. So I want you to think for a minute about your thoughts about trading, about your capabilities, about your efforts, about your reality. And are your thoughts empowering? Are they like money flows easily to me through trading? My trading strategy is going to produce an abundance of cash flow. Or are your thoughts around trading a little bit more limiting? Are you worried about the losing trade you just had? Are you doubting if your system's really going to work? So just think about this for a second and be real with yourself, even in the last couple of days, even in the last week. Are your thoughts around trading and your capabilities, are they empowering or limiting right now? And type it in the chat box. And it's just a snapshot in time, and you can work on this. Someone said they're new trader. My struggle is with mindset. Yep. Hey, acknowledging is definitely a great place to start. We got someone saying empowering, great job, permit to trade. We have a couple other people saying they're limiting. There's a lot of doubts. So like, are you thinking about your doubts, your fears, your insecurities, having anxiety around trading? Yep. Depends on the day. Totally. So yeah, there's a lot more people where their mind and their thoughts are in a place of limiting beliefs. And, that's human. So don't think there's something wrong with you if you're like, oh, like I suck, right? Like it's a natural, like human reaction when you're nervous, when you're doing something new, and you're putting yourself in new situations and trying things new. Like you don't have the confidence built up yet. And it's very easy to let those limiting beliefs come to the surface. So the key here is that I'm going to help you kind of overcome that. So the same old thinking is going to generate the same old results, right? I don't know if you've ever heard, there's a quote, I think it's maybe Albert Einstein, I'm probably going to butcher this, but it's something along the lines of, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result, right? And the same is true for your mindset, right? Your same old thinking is going to give you the same old results. So if you continue to let these fears, doubts, insecurities, limiting beliefs take charge of your mind, then, you're going to keep getting those same results. Someone was just sharing in the chat room. Thank you guys for being so vulnerable. I know it can be hard to share on these calls. Adam was sharing how he keeps blowing up accounts for the last 10 years. Revenge trading comes up after a losing day. He's over trading sometimes and it never ends good. Yeah, I mean, you guys, this is real stuff with trading. And I talk about it kind of lightly, but it can be very detrimental to your results, to your behaviors, to your beliefs and your confidence in yourself. So there is a way to overcome it, and we're going to keep talking about that. So the cool thing about this shift is, right, old mindsets get you old results, but you can start and you can make a shift, and these new mindsets will get you new results. So acknowledging where you are today is the first step, and I'm going to give you a couple tools for being a little bit more resilient from a mindset standpoint. So the one thing, if anything, I want you to take away from this presentation today is that your mindset matters. Your mindset matters with trading. Your thoughts become your reality. What you think about, whether it's positive or negative, is going to be manifested in your life at some point in the near future. So it's so incredibly important to choose your thoughts wisely, especially when it comes to trading, right? So, whether or not you've made this connection, your thoughts outside of trading are also very important. So if you think about love, relationships, your job, your dreams, anything, like this goes much larger than just trading. I'm speaking about it in terms of trading because that's the audience here, but You know, you can also do a lot of work mindset-wise outside of trading, kind of simultaneously with what we're about to talk about. So know that everything we talk about next is applicable to trading, also applicable to other areas of your life. So, and I could go on for days. I love talking about mindset. So let's talk about fixed versus growth mindset for a moment. And this is going to kind of dig into where you're at today. And you might find that in some areas, you've really got this growth mindset, and then in other areas, you got fixed mindset. Or you might even find, like I think one of you all were saying in the chat room, it depends on the day, right? Some days I'm in a super growth mindset, and other days I'm totally in this fixed limiting belief mindset. So it can certainly vary by the day. But here's some examples, right? It's not always one or the other. You might find some of these you resonate with the fixed, some you resonate with the growth. But I just want to try to illustrate the difference here for you between like how your mindset impacts your thought for fixed versus growth. So in a fixed mindset, you might say like, I'm not good at this. I'm not good at this trading thing. I've been trying, you know, for years even, I've been trying. Whereas someone in the growth mindset would say like, what am I missing, right? What am I missing? I know people are able to do this successfully. So what am I missing? Am I missing the focus? Am I giving one strategy my all? Am I developing my mindset, right? Like, so that's two completely different ways to think about a situation. Next, instead of, I'm awesome at this, right? A lot of times our ego gets the best of us in the fixed mindset. Like, I'm awesome at this. I know everything I need to know. Like, I'm good to go, right? I don't need to learn anything else. Instead, you could try thinking from a growth mindset, like, I'm on the right track. But like everyone who continues to grow and evolve and advance and scale, like I need to keep learning, right? Like what else can I learn to improve my results even more? Instead of saying, I give up, you might try thinking, let me use some of the strategies that, you know, all these wonderful traders are teaching me this week, right? In these sessions all day today. Instead of giving up, pick a handful of things that, you know, really are your aha moments and implement them and give them a shot, right? Instead of saying this is too hard, reframe your thinking to say like, you know what? It might take some time and effort and I need to commit to that, right? You might need to recommit to trading because maybe early on you committed to learning how to trade and you thought it would be easy and you thought it would be fast. And it's okay that it's taking you more time, but you might need to take a moment and recommit to that, right? And say, you know what? I came into it with the wrong thinking. You know, one of the things I always say about trading is it's easy to do and it's easy not to do, right? So maybe you just need to recommit and like know that it's going to take some time and effort. And that doesn't have to mean years, right? But, you know, it might take longer than a week. And I know some people like that's all the time they give it, which maybe isn't fair. You know, a fixed mindset might say, I can't make this any better. Like I've been trying, I've done all I can. And a growth mindset would say, I can always improve. So I'm going to keep trying, right? If something's really important to you, you will keep trying. You know, a fixed mindset might say, oh, I can't do math. I can't do trading. There's math involved, right? And a growth mindset might say, I'm going to train myself to get better in math. Or maybe like, I'm not good at math yet, but I'm going to learn what I need to be like sufficient enough to trade. You know, a fixed mindset might say, I made a mistake. A growth mindset would say, mistakes help me learn, right? In any mistake you make, there is something to learn, I promise you. And if nothing else, it might be like, all right, I made that mistake. I'm not going to do that again, right? Super easy lesson to take away and make sure you don't make the same mistake twice in trading. Fixed mindset might say, oh, I'll never be that smart. Those trading strategies are too hard. Like, oh, I just can't, you know, I'm never going to be smart enough. Whereas a growth mindset is going to say, I'm going to figure out how others do it. Again, there's clearly people out there doing very well trading, and it's not rocket science, and no one was born with this skill set, right? They've all learned it. They've all practiced it. They've all refined it, and you can do that too. A fixed mindset would say, oh, it's good enough. You know, what I'm just doing is good enough. Some days I win, some days I lose. I'm barely eking out any money. It's good enough. And a growth mindset would say, is this really my best? And a last one, a fixed mindset would say, plan A didn't work, right? Like, oh, I tried this strategy. it was supposed to work, it didn't work, and they might be like ready to give up, right? Whereas a growth mindset would say like, hey, there's also like 25 more letters in the alphabet. Like there's lots of other options for you out there. So again, these are just some simple examples to help you kind of process where you're at, because, you know, acknowledging where you are in your mindset is a really, really important component to building your resilience. So you need to be able to recognize the difference and be able to kind of call yourself out when you're in that fixed mindset instead of the growth mindset. So resilience, I read a really fascinating article many years ago now. I was still working in corporate America, but it was about like the 13 qualities that, you know, will make someone the most successful in the next decade or whatever. Like it was one of those types of articles. And the number one trait was resilience. And I found that really fascinating. I had never really done a lot of studying on resilience before then, but, you know, basically like when adversity or overwhelm or, you know, complications come your way, are you bending? Are you being flexible? Are you learning and recovering quickly, or are you breaking? Like that's what resilience is all about. Hopefully you're not breaking, but if you are, you know, we can make some progress. So resilience is the capability to recover quickly from difficulties. It's kind of like a mental toughness in a way. It doesn't mean that you can't have like opportunities of like maybe being closer to that break, but it's like the acknowledgement and the toughness to be like, I'm not going to let this break me, right? I'm going to learn something through this. And it's a way of it's a process for adapting well in the face of adversity. So there's a lot of ways you can build your mental resilience, but I'm going to give you a little 5-step process here. So the first one is self-awareness, and that's kind of what I've been leading up to this whole time. You need to be able to self-diagnose where you're at, right? You need to be able to acknowledge, like, I'm in overwhelm, I'm in stress, frustration, I'm in that revenge trading mode, right? Like you need to be able to basically raise that red flag in your mind and say, whoop, I'm kind of in this fixed limiting belief mindset. That's like half the battle, is being able to acknowledge it. I have a little, it's a little bit unrelated, but it's also related. So I'm going to quickly share it with you. Overwhelm, I think, is one of the mental states right now in trading, in anything in life. People so quickly get overwhelmed. And a tip I have for you to kind of get past overwhelm, whether it's in trading or in life. Let me ask you, how many people have been overwhelmed this week at some point? Give me a yes if you have. And while we're doing this exercise, Harish was asking if I could go back to the previous slide, so I'm going to do that. Is this the slide you wanted to reach? So we got lots of Ys. We got lots of quadruple Ys. Okay. So I want to make sure overwhelm is not something that like you guys are all like, oh no, I'm good, I got overwhelm taken care of. No, overwhelm is like one of the biggest issues in, I think, our culture today. We're trying to do too much. I mean, don't even throw the global pandemic on it, right? But like just day to day, like managing everything that life is throwing at you, whether it's with your career, with trading, with your family, with friends, just all these expectations thrown upon you, you know, projects, whether they're at home or at work. Yeah, the number of emails you get, exactly. So overwhelm is like such a big issue. And the one thing I want you to realize about overwhelm is it's a state of mind. So let that sink in for a minute, right? Overwhelm is a state of mind. It's a state of the mind. It's not actually a reality. And what I mean by that is it's a state of mind where, again, acknowledging it is half the battle, right? Like just even saying like, after today, I want you to just like call yourself out on feeling overwhelmed, right? Like the next time you're like feeling overwhelmed, you feel your blood pressure rising, your face is getting red, maybe you're tense, or you know, stomp your fist on your desk or whatever. Like acknowledge you're in overwhelm and kind of give yourself a little chuckle and just say, you know what, I'm in overwhelm right now. And it's totally a state of mind and I'm gonna move past it. And the way that you move past it, overwhelm is simply lack of having an operational plan on how you're going to move forward. It means you have so much on your plate and you're not prioritized and focused enough to move forward flawlessly. So whether it's in trading, whether it's in life, no matter what it is, just acknowledge that overwhelm is a state of mind created by a lack of an operational plan. So what that means is you don't have your priorities. You might have this long list of things, these long emails, whatever it is, and you're not prioritized. You're not focused on what needs to get done first, second, and third, right? So all you have to do is just pause, go, ha, 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 got it. I'm in overwhelm and I need an operational plan. And from there you can say, all right, just brain dump everything on your plate, right? Write it on a sheet of paper and say, okay, where's my priority and focus? What do I need to do first? And just like number 1, 2, 3 and call it a day. And then give yourself the peace that everything else you'll revisit tomorrow or next week or whatever, but like give yourself that operational plan so that you can move forward and focus and prioritize. So again, building that mental resilience, first, self-awareness. Second, you need attention and focus, right? On what's most important, what's your priority. Third, you need to let go physically. So again, a lot of times when you're in a fixed mindset, when you're letting overwhelm get the best of you or those limiting beliefs, a lot of times there's a physical reaction happening. Again, you're stomping, your legs bouncing all over the place, you're pacing back and forth, you're breathing heavily, your fists are clenched, something, right? So let go physically, like acknowledge it, say, okay, let me just relax for a moment, take a couple deep breaths, then let go mentally, right? Again, you need an operational plan. You need to get to the heart of what the real issue is. And then from there, you need to access some positivity, right? So what can I learn from this? How can I get myself out of it? Do I just need to go like look up a joke online? Do I need to phone a friend, phone a family member, take your mind off of it for a second, go read some inspirational quotes? Like whatever it is, you can access positivity or gratitude in your life. Like step out of it and say, you know what? I'm grateful I'm alive today. I'm grateful I'm healthy. Grateful I have children. I'm grateful I have a husband, wife, partner. Like I'm grateful I have a job. Like I'm grateful I have the opportunity to pursue my dreams of like trading, right? Like whatever it is, access the positivity and the gratitude because it's there and it'll be life-changing. So you've got this. Don't ever forget, new mindset's going to bring about new results. Hopefully you guys had a couple of little nuggets you were able to take away. And I'm sure, like, let me know, like, do you see how having this fixed kind of limiting belief mindset can get in your way? Give me a yes or a no in the chat box here. Yep, lots of Y's coming in. Totally. Okay, so it's a big issue. It's 50% of the success equation, right? So what I'd love to do here, if you want to stick around, I'd like to help you learn how to trade and get those consistent results. So if you want to know more, give me a yes. Because if no one wants to know, I certainly can stop here. I know I'm tight on time, so I'm gonna have to go fast anyways. I tried to give you guys a lot of content. Okay, got lots of yeses. So I'm gonna continue with a special offer for you guys. Before I go into the offer, one of the biggest problems I see for most traders holding them back, just kind of generally speaking across the board, is they, you know, I'm gonna do a little analogy, right? So I'm gonna give you this cake, right? This amazing, beautiful, tasty cake. I'm gonna give you all the ingredients, but I'm gonna tell you, hey, here's the ingredients, go make that cake, go reproduce it, right? And this is an analogy to trading, right? So go make this, reproduce this beautiful, amazing, tasty cake without the full recipe. You know, there's lots of information out there with trading, right? But if I just give you the ingredients, you're not gonna know what the measurements are. You're not gonna know what temperature to put the oven to, and you're not gonna know how long to bake the cake. So can you eventually reproduce this cake? Well, maybe some of you could, right, with several attempts, but I would say the overwhelming mass majority of you will not be able to reproduce this cake the exact same way, right? And trading is the same. So there's so much information, courses, programs, strategies, signal services, indicators, oh my gosh, so much stuff, right? We just talked about overwhelm earlier. But if you don't know how to use these things, put them together properly, you're never going to be profitable. Well, it's going to take you a lot longer to become profitable, right? Because you're going to have a lot more trial and error, just like you would trying to reproduce this cake. So my offer to you today is to give you the recipe, my exact trade plan, the pathway I took to become a profitable trader. So here's how I can help. I have a trading program. It's called Consistent FX Profits Online. It's where I teach you the exact way that I generate over 70% wins. It's ultimately a step-by-step video training program. You get 8 modules. We start by restoring your mind, then we strengthen your knowledge, doing basics of Forex, brokers, chart settings, terminology, and more. Then we go into formulating your plan, talk about all the core components of the technical analysis that I use. I'm a price action trader, so I'm not using any indicators, just using candles, sequences, support and resistance, and then, analyzing swing highs and swing lows. Then we go from there to implementing your plan. I teach you, the exact trade plan, how to implement it, how you qualify enter-exit trades, manage your risk, manage the trades. Then we go into optimizing your execution. I talked about that earlier. So I provide you with a tool and additional strategies to manage it and optimize your execution, which includes monitoring your performance and holding yourself accountable. Then I give you ways to enhance your skills. We go deeper into price action analysis and expand your chart reading abilities. Talk a lot about multiplying your results. That's why you guys are all traders. You want to make money more quickly, right? So I have a personal performance-based scaling model that I teach you about that you can implement with your own trading, and it kind of gives you a lot of ways to scale your profits. And then lastly, at the end, obviously I want you to be successful. So I equip you with additional ways to maintain that resilient mind, create your protection plan, sustain your success. So that's the course, all 8 modules, a lot of good info. The training's valued at $19.95. I'm going to give you a couple things here though. So there's more. You'll also get a toolkit that makes everything easier. I know, who likes easy, right? Everyone likes easier. So my whole goal here with this program is to kind of shortcut your learning curve. So the toolkit includes a workbook for each module. So you have all the training content in one document, and you can also take personal notes. There's an actual trade plan document you get. It's 1 page that has all the trade details. It literally becomes like your day-to-day Bible, so to speak. You're also going to get that trade journal and metrics tracker. So, you hold yourself accountable. You can hone in on maybe where you have opportunities, and it's kind of a fast way to identify those. It's also going to help you build your confidence. Then there's that performance-based scaling model that tells you when you're ready for more, and the growth and scaling calculator that really helps you see, over the years how your hard work and dedication is going to pay off in the long run. This toolkit's valued at $4.95. And I'm going to sweeten the deal even more. I've got a couple bonuses for you. So bonus number 1 is a trading community. So I know a lot of times like trading can be super lonely and it can feel like you're in it by yourself. But in my program, you're not going to be alone. You'll get to connect with traders from around the globe, learn, grow, profit together. And then the best part is you can ask me questions anytime in the group. I'm in it every single day. The trading community is valued at $1,995. And here's your icing on the cake. Bonus number 2 is my weekly group coaching calls. So these weekly calls are going to help you shorten your learning curve, win more trades, and trade like a pro in no time. So each week you're going to get bonus training topics, visual Q&A, where I'm sharing my screen and answering all the trader questions. I'll review all my actual trades I've taken the last week, and we'll do a live chart analysis where we look for trades together. So again, nothing really net new, but helping you shorten that learning curve from what you learn in the course. And then additionally, you're going to get extended access to everything. So normally it's only 6 months for the group coaching and the member community, and you're going to get a full 12 months. So this is valued at $4,995. Weekly calls, they're an hour long, really, really great value add. Here's some testimonials that, I like sharing these because it's social proof that some of you just met me today. So lots of great comments about my program, people talking about trades, a simple trading methodology, people, in 2 weeks having, 73% win rate. Jerry there trades with his personal accounts and funded accounts. So lots of good stuff here. The total value is $9,480. You're not going to pay that. You know, obviously I had two choices with my pricing. I could charge that full value, leaving many people out of reach, or I could go cheaper, undercharge and over deliver and really get a lot of happy clients. And, you know, it aligns with my personal mission of helping people achieve that success trading. It's a true passion of mine. So, you know, obviously what you're getting here is a lifetime of Forex success and financial freedom. Totally could be worth even more than the value of the program. I won't even go there. I mean, you saw what I did. I left my 9-to-5. I've been able to travel more, gotten more time with my family. I've paid off our debt, all that good stuff, just because of trading, which has been like such a dream come true for me. So you're going to get all of this. Total value $94.80. $19.95 is my full price. But because you guys are on this call, because you've been on this trading, you're not even going to pay that, right? $1,995 is a stellar offer for almost a $10,000 program, but I want to make this a no-brainer for you for this week. I appreciate your time. I love that you guys are on here furthering your education. So I've got a limited time offer for you. You get everything, the 8 training modules, the toolkit, the trading community, the weekly group coaching calls, the extended access for only $9.95. So this is over 50% off my full price. I'm also going to throw in a payment plan, right? Again, I want to make this super no-brainer for you. 3 payments of $333. I've had a lot of people asking for lower payments just given the current state of the world and people being in tough situations. So I also recently added for this offer a 12 payment of $150. So really low barrier of entry. This is not going to last forever. It's a fast action discount. Again, the full program, only $9.95, which is 50% off, 3 payments of $333 or 12 payments of $150. Those are monthly payments, by the way. This offer expires Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So giving you some time. I know some of you guys are watching this after the fact. This is the website where you can go to get that promotion, the special price, www.consistentfxprofits.com/promo. I'll give you that link again in a minute. I also have that bonus to give you guys. Feel free to just take a picture of this with your phone. I think David's also putting it in the chat box. Thank you guys so much for attending live. I know I'm right up to the wire here. I also promised you guys a freebie here. So you've got 30 days of trading tips and tidbits coming to your inbox. If you want it, you can go to www.consistentfxprofits.com/free info. This will get you daily emails in your inbox for 30 days with short little videos where I give you tips and tidbits to trading, tips and tidbits about Forex. If you're new or if you're new to Forex, really great videos for you. I also talk a lot about mindset, behaviors, etc., even for those of you that have been trading for a while. So I'll see if there's any questions in the chat box, but overall, here's the special offer for you. The link is at the bottom. Again, feel free to take a snapshot of that there. Let me just see what's in the chat box here. Just had my coffee and cake. I love that. Someone was asking, do you get lifetime access to the training videos and recordings? So basically, they're all in a Facebook group and they're all downloadable, right? So all the workbooks, the toolkit, the videos, you get access to the Facebook group for a year, but all of that content you can download and save on your computer. So technically, yes, you have lifetime access to all the training content. It's yours. You do just have to save it on your computer if you want it beyond that first year. Awesome. Thanks, Dorothy. Appreciate your comments and kind words there. Are there any, I don't see any other questions. I know David and Anka, I'm right up on the time here, so I'll probably have to turn it over, but feel free to take advantage of both the freebie and the special offer there. I'd love to work with you guys and help you master not only your strategy, but also your mindset.